good, guys? It's your boy Eru, host of the Dynex podcast. Jumping in here, last second podcast. I wasn't gonna do it. You can see my screen is open in the back there, but I wasn't gonna do it. Just got in, had a long day at work. Just did what did we do today? 12 hours today in the cold, man. Sheesh. But while I'm in the cold looking for something to pass the time and stuff, all of a sudden we're just talking about Zach Levine again. All of a sudden, like this is something that's brand new or something that like we never talked about. Same thing with Donovan Mitchell and all the other different names that we've been talked about that we talked about so much, but they make it news and now it's like, oh, like we never discussed it for months. We've been discussing these names since the beginning of the offseason. Since even before the offseason, we were talking about it. I'm talking about the trade deadline and stuff like that. We were talking about trading for some of these guys, man. So it's annoying the energy that I'm seeing out there. Just even like ESPN, ESPN, they're using that because it's like, yeah, they're drooling. Look at look at all the views and all the ratings we're getting. Just by throwing the Knicks name in there and Zach Levine and all this other stuff. But I'll get into it. I didn't put it up in my notes here, but I'll Google it and stuff like that so you can see it. But there's a lot of stuff going on with these players here. Number one, salary. Not all these salaries could be moved. Not everybody could be like the Clippers and stuff like that. We'll talk about the Clippers and the Lakers and all these other teams that seem to have infinite salary available to them. But not every team could make these moves and stuff like that. So I mean, like, we're talking about superstar players. Everyone seems to think that there's this surprise superstar that's going to be available in the summertime. We were supposed to get Durant and we were supposed to get Kyrie Irving. Remember that? That's not something that Knicks fans came up. That's something that the media came out with and said that it was a done deal. A lot of guys said it was a done deal, and a lot of those guys are making millions of dollars still right now, talking the same junk, and nothing is true. Nothing has ever been true. But it's always so funny to laugh and joke about the Knicks every single time. It drives me crazy. So anyway, I'm flaunting my New York City Marathon medal today. Just to let you know that I'm doing something other than sitting in the room talking about Knicks and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Get up and do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether or not you think you could do it, or just challenge yourself to see if you can do it. Anything, whatever it is out there, please get out there and do something other than talk shit to about this stuff that's going on here. Anyway, it is fun. I gotta say that I wouldn't be here if it wasn't. So let's get into it. Let's talk about what I want to talk about from my perspective. This Zach Levine talk, man. So let's get it up on the screen and let's get the proper position here. I enjoy this position on the right hand side. It looks funky. So anyway, shout out to Almighty Finesses here. I don't want Zach Levine. Zach is not a superstar. But listen, Zach Levine is actually paid like a superstar. We'll talk about that in a second. Bricks Nation was good, man. Everybody loves the hat. One of my coworkers, he picked up the fitted version of that. This is a snapback. I like snapbacks, but this is definitely a funky hat, man. I love it with this Knicks logo. I think to me this is the freshest one. I know the triangle with the basketball and Knicks is classic, but I think this is more clean. I feel like you can hide with it. You can chill, and it doesn't really stand out as a Knicks hat. People are like, oh, I kind of like that. Everybody always says the same thing. So get out there and get yourself some Knicks gear, man. So anyway, on the screen we got teams that are expected to have level of interest in Zach Levine. Drum roll, please. The Lakers, Heat, and 76ers. And of course the Knicks are in the mix too. But the Lakers, because of LeBron, then LeBron is going to try to steal all these players. He always does, though. They do they need a shooting guard? They just benched what's the kid's name? Austin. They benched Austin, and they got Cam Reddish starting now. So I mean that means they might need somebody to play shooting guard, someone to be a scorer or whatever. LeBron always finds a way to do that. He makes 40 million. The Lakers have a whole bunch of redundant players that are making decent salary on their roster that they can bunch together to send to Chicago to get Zach Levine, no problem. So I mean, if LeBron wants to get Zach Levine, I think they should let it happen. Let it happen, and then see what if they can squeeze out another half season championship. With half a team, half a coach. You know what I'm saying? All just LeBron leading the way and stuff like that. Same thing with the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat is thirsty for like another player to play with the guys that they currently have. Of course, Jimmy Butler. You got Bam Adebayo over there. Lowry's still there, still playing decent, not playing the old Larry like 20 points per game, stuff like that. Still playing really good basketball. The young kid keeps getting hurt, man. Shout out to their shooting guard that keeps getting hurt there. But they can end up trading him once and for all for Zach Levine. Just for the youth movement that they're having in Chicago, maybe that might make sense for them. But the Miami Heat, I don't, their window is closing, so I guess getting a Levine will boost their, give them a little boost forward. But I mean, they already went to the finals last year, so they're another team that kind of is going to get lightning in the bottle, and they'll end up being a strong finals contender, the second half of the season. So I could totally see Miami Heat doing that. As far as the 76ers, I think that's Therese Maxey's team now. With Embiid, him and Embiid, Maxey's averaging like 28 points. He already had a 50-point burger already. The kid is amazing. So they found a gem in him. They have proper role players around those guys. So them getting Zach Levine, I don't think that's a good idea. Because like I said, Maxey's already averaged 7 assists, I think, like 28 points per game. He's have been playing out of his mind right now. What they do need is a shooter over there. Maybe I'm not a fan of the 76ers, but they need something other than Zach Levine. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's a brief synopsis there with that. Let's get into some more Knicks stuff. This is ESPN here. I'm not going to get into the sound bites and stuff, but it's the usual suspects as you can see. Shout out to Austin Rivers, man, former Knick. His dad used to be a Knick. Very well spoken dude, not afraid to speak his mind and stuff. It's good to see him on the TV. I hope that he brings a different perspective compared to like a Kendrick Perkins. That 1 second, he's saying something good, next second he's saying something off the wall. Hopefully, Austin Rivers here could come in here and be more level-headed and actually give you some better insight on ESPN, man. Malika Andrews, I cannot stand her, man. She gives these faces and stuff like that. She's a company woman, she's just following the script and stuff like that. But I really she plays it to a T. So I guess she's doing her job well, but I cannot stand her, man. I refuse to watch the network to begin with, but I refuse to watch it as long as she's on the screen there. I couldn't even imagine sharing space with her. I don't know if that's killing my own self by saying that, but it just even this guy too, Zach Lowe, whatever his name is, there he's also like atrocious as well. But anyway, they're basically talking about Zach Levine. He said, Zach Lowe said that he's a minus defender his entire career. Okay, but then after he says that, then he said, well, he was adequate defender. Okay, so what is it, man? As far as scoring wise and stuff like that, immediately um on a night to night basis, Brunson is carrying the team. So, it would be nice to have Levine next to him. So I mean, Brunson really does need that second person in the backcourt to take the ball out of Julius's hands. That's what we all want. Take the ball out of Julius's hands, help out Brunson because Brunson's being overwhelmed a little bit, even though he can handle it. But we definitely need that extra score in the perimeter. RJ's definitely helping out, but RJ's helping out in a different way. So we still need RJ. I don't want to trade RJ for Levine, but there's been a lot of trade rumors that people are putting together trade scenarios that they're putting RJ in there for Levine. I think that's the wrong idea. I think RJ right now is finally coming into the player that we thought he was going to be. The beginning of his career, he's making that the corner three. He's driving. He's taking what the defense gives him. Finally, he's back to being an adequate defender. He's not a stopper, but he's back to being a decent defender again. So right now, RJ's playing out of his mind. Speaking of out of his mind, he's got these migraines. He might not play in Atlanta. I don't know what's going on with that. Right at this moment, I wouldn't trade RJ. I wouldn't trade Julius neither. So Julius and RJ and Brunson, I think those three guys, I think they can't leave. We have proper people behind that we can put together to make a proper trade to get a guy like Levine in here. But I forgot to put it up here. But let me see what the next point was. Uh, Okay, let's do this real quick. So they're talking about Zach Levine plus defender and stuff like that. But like I said, they do bring up the point that Brunson does need that second player. So this is another interview here where they're talking to none other than Scott Perry. So shout out to Scott Perry, seeing me there on the right hand side. Like I said, Malika Andrews, she's just like a snake. I can't like nothing about her is genuine. She's just all acting. I really just do not like her, man. I just don't like her style. Just she like I said, she's playing a role. She's doing it very well. So I mean, she's earning whatever she's earning there. She's doing it well, but I really can't take it, man. So anyway, Scott Perry says that he really thinks that the Knicks are one player away. So when he said that, I totally agree with that. I've been saying that for the longest time. People shoot it down, because they don't like Julius or because RJ wasn't playing well at a certain point. But right now, like RJ, like we gotta eliminate that. Live in the present. Julius Randle is what he is, 20, 10, and 5. Too much usage for RJ. I think we all agree with that. Not necessarily that we need to get him off our team and stuff like that. We need to bring his uses down because once Julius Randle is doing too much, that's when he gets in trouble. When Julius is playing within the flow and everything looks good, he's a good basketball player. But like I said, that usage is what we got to bring down. So this is where the Zach Lavine conversation comes from. Also, this one player away thing. Brunson is being used too much, but I think he can handle it. But he's getting beat down, man. He can't. How many years can he do that? He's definitely going to need a backcourt mate that's going to take the thing from him. Right off the bat, Donovan Mitchell. I'll talk about Donovan Mitchell in a second, but we need that second player. Like I said, RJ right now is finally becoming that guy. So we need to upgrade either the center spot or the shooting guard spot. One of those guys to give us a more consistent player there. Getting a long defender is not what we need right now. That's not going to be the final piece to this team. Okay, shits and giggles. Let's say we do get that long defender that nobody can identify, nobody can put a name to this person. But if we was to get this quote unquote long defender, a small forward, power forward kind of type to be on this team, does that make us a freaking championship team? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. We're talking about a run of the mill, player that could be picked off of the right now free agent market. You know what I'm saying? But this is a player, the player that you're talking about is a player that you can pick up after you get a guy to fill in that spot. So I don't think that's something that we definitely need it, but it's not something that we need to use assets and we need to get that tall wing defender. Yeah, but the last game just now we just played against the Celtics. We lost the game not because we couldn't defend, because we couldn't score. We couldn't score. RJ was out with the migraine, yes, but just because we lose RJ doesn't mean the rest of the team nobody can step up, and the Knicks are incapable of stepping up. With the players that we have, Dante, Josh Hart, and this guy Quentin Grimes and stuff. These guys are not capable of stepping their game up, actually taking just like to say, let's say if the Celtics were to be without Drew Holiday for a little while, Derek White can handle the load. If this guy Jalen Brown was out, this guy Derek White couldn't handle the load. Derek White last year he had a nice little stint where he had those scoring games when guys were hurt. So I mean, they have players that could step up. Who on our roster do we have that's going to step up to take on that role, volume scoring, to just to take the initiative to score? Grimes is showing that he does not want to do that. He's focused on being in his role and he's just blinded by it. Dante DiVincenzo, I just think he's a scrappy player. I just don't think that he can take on the load and responsibility of being a scorer. I just don't think he has that in his mentality. He's just a rough and tumble player, very good player. Josh Hart, the same kind of guy. This guy he just wants to play hard, play good team basketball. He's not one of those guys that are gonna take it upon himself to score more. Even though he tried to the last game, he had a couple actually something I had never seen before. That 3-point shot where he got in the corner where he was about to make a turnover, threw it off of Drew Holiday's back and got it back and shot it and made it. So I mean, he's capable of scoring. He can do it, and he has scored a lot in this league before, but that's not his MO. So we're not going to get those things from those guys when we need it. So we actually need to search for that player. So that player that this guy Scott Perry was talking about is the one player away. We need to, like I said, we need to upgrade that center spot some kind of way, or the shooting guard spot. I actually have a solution. We'll get to that in a second. But one thing I just want to point out, because like I said, I keep talking about Malika Andrews here. So I mean, I'm not. There's no audio here, but I just want to play it because I mean, Scott Perry was talking. So as he was talking, Malika Andrews makes this face because he says something. She made like a stupid face. It drives me crazy. I'm hoping that it pops up here so you guys can see it while I'm talking here. So I'm just gonna let it play a little bit. They're gonna show a little bit of highlights. Like I mean, he was the GM of the Knicks. Just listening to him from the podcast and listening to him giving analysis and stuff like that. As like an ESPN analyst right now, I totally get where he's coming from, and I totally agree with everything that he's saying. Like that's exactly how I would run the Knicks. But just judging by what he's saying compared to what's been actually happening, that's the divide, and that's probably why Scott Perry's not there anymore because Scott Perry wants to I think this the face is gonna come up now. He goes Malik Andrews. She's gonna make a face in a second. Does she make it now? She makes it like this face, it, like, pissed me off so bad. Look, like the face, the eyes wide or whatever. I mean, whatever, man. I'm not gonna keep this. Not gonna be bashing her all night, man. But I mean, it is what it is. I really do believe the Knicks are one player away. What player is that? Like I said, we're not gonna get. It's not gonna be Carl Anthony Towns. He's not worth it either. Carl Anthony Towns and Zach Levine are actually in the same boat here. So while we're talking about salary and stuff like that, let's just look at Zach Levine. Zach Levine, hoops hype salary. So we're gonna look at his salary here for this is his remaining salary. I like to look at Hoops Hype because they tend to put things out so you can see it. I might have to refresh it. Yeah, so I have to refresh it. Sometimes I just gave them an endorsement and now they're gonna leave me high and dry here. So let's try this one more time. All right, so I just gave them an endorsement and they're gonna leave me high and dry now. So let's try it one more time. Zach Levine hoops hype salary. Hoops hype. Let's go. Let's get busy here, man. Right now you can see it on the screen, but I just want you to I just want to see his salary here. Let's see if it pops up this time. So it doesn't pop up this time. So there must be something going on. Maybe everybody's looking at it. So let's take a look at the team salary here for Chicago. Right now, he makes $40 million for 2000 for this season, 2023, 2024. Next season, he makes 43. Next season, he makes 45. So not just this year, two extra seasons, he's going to be making 43 and $45 million. Then the blue is a player option. So during that time, I'm quite sure he's going to have a lot of injuries and stuff like that. I don't think that he's going to be looking for that next contract. So that $48 million more than likely is going to be something that he's going to pick up. So we got one. So this year, counting this year, 4 years at 40 something million dollars, close to 50 for a dude that's been having what do you call knee problems. All kind of injury issues and stuff like that. Like I said, defense is a problem with him. He doesn't really play defense. He plays adequate defense, but he gets beat a lot. But the scoring wise, shout out to Knicks Film School. They brought up the fact that he's good at spot up threes and stuff like that. The way the Knicks play, that he probably would fit in really well. So I mean, he probably would fit in well. But he makes 40 something million dollars. Is this an investment that we want to make here in a player? Is this a superstar that we're looking to bring onto the team? Zach Levine, to make the team better. One player two players actually that I want you guys to take a look at is on the screen here. Like I said, we'll get back to them in a second. But these guys here that you see on the screen, there are two players there that make the same amount of money as Zach Levine. I'll just go ahead and say it. Look, DeRozan, $28 million, right? For 1 year. He doesn't have any more commitments. So I'll talk about him in a second. Vucevic, okay, he makes $18 million. Basically, gets up to 20. So I mean, what's 28 to 18? So you're talking about a little bit over $40 million. So basically for basically an even trade, probably Zach Levine and the filler for DeRozan and Vucevic. What is the better trade? So I'll leave you with that before I into my next point here. So let's take a look at another person that everyone keeps saying that, oh, we need to sign Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell's gonna be available. This, that, and the other. Donovan Mitchell hoops hype salary. So hopefully they put this up here. Because I mean, I'm trying to show off this website, and this, I mean, it's literally not working. Like, what the hell is going on here? So anyway, right on the top of the screen there, as you can see, he makes 28 something million. Well, that was last year. Let's take a look at let's just look at salaries. This hoops hype is betraying me live here on my podcast. Let's just look at a different website. I hate looking at sport track, but sport track, it probably never goes down, because it's just a weird website. So now they have this here. So what's going on here? No, I don't want to trade this player. Get out of here, Sports Track. So I mean, what is going on with this live TV bullshit? So take a look at the salary picture here. $33 million for Donovan Mitchell. Let's click Donovan Mitchell, see if they give you his salary. So I mean, this year he's making 32. Next year he'll be making 34. He has a player option at 37. He's definitely not taking that player option. So he's not going to be making 37 million. That number is probably going to be doubled, two seasons from now. Talking about this season, next season, and then the following season. He's not going to take that player option. More than likely he's going to become a free agent for this year. For 2025-26. So that number is going to get closer to the 60s, bro. So are we willing to pay Donovan Mitchell $60 million to play with Brunson? 'Cause at the same time, we're gonna have to pay Julius at the same time, and we're gonna have to pay Brunson at the same time, and RJ's contract is gonna be almost up at the same time. So what are we doing here? We keep talking about Donovan Mitchell. So the thing is, the dream is for us to trade for Donovan Mitchell this year. Will the Cavaliers play so bad that Donovan Mitchell wants out? The Cavaliers aren't playing that bad right now for him to ask for a trade. It's possible, but we're banking that on a 27-year-old man. This 6 feet tall. He's not 6'5". He plays like it. He's not 6'5". He's 27, 6 foot. 6'1", 6 foot. Next year he'll be 28, making $34 million. That this might be the trade that you want, but the likelihood of him being available it could be there. Is this the trade that we're looking for? The superstar in the summer? I don't think Donovan Mitchell is that superstar. So I mean, here's another thing too. Who do you trade for Donovan Mitchell? They're gonna want a star in return. They're not gonna want to just trade Donovan Mitchell for nothing. Because they're just gonna set them back. So they're gonna be asking for RJ. They're gonna be asking for IQ. So do we trade our IQ and RJ for Donovan Mitchell? Does that make sense? Because now it gives us Brunson with Donovan, and then you still got Julius. Or if you want to trade Julius, whatever you want, trade Julius, and now we got RJ, Donovan, and Brunson. We still have a lot of work to do at that point. We still have a lot of work to do to get that team right. So it is what it is with that. So I just think that we'll just be spinning around in circles, trying to get Donovan Mitchell for the assets that we have. I don't think that Cleveland is going to take the assets that we're looking to trade. Fournier. They're not going to want Fournier. They're not going to want like whatever fillers for Donovan Mitchell. That's just not going to make any sense. Somebody in the prime of their career, they're not going to trade him for nothing. They're going to want somebody. They're definitely going to want Quickly. They're definitely going to want somebody else along with that. I would want Quickly and RJ. That's what I would ask for. Or Quickly and they don't need a center, but Quickly and RJ. That's it starts and ends right there. There's nothing else that's going to be better than that. So is going to be IQ and Fournier. I don't think that rocks. I don't think that they rock with that. So maybe if we throw in a bunch of draft picks, would they take Quickly and Fournier? But Quickly's going to be a free agent next year. So there's a lot of complicated shit going on with this situation that I just think this is just too this is something that we could still visit in the off season, but this doesn't help the situation right now. You get what I'm trying to say? This doesn't help this season. Like I hate people that say, "Oh, wait till next year, wait till the year after that. In 5 years, the Knicks are gonna win a championship, or in 5 years, the Knicks are gonna finally be a contender." Like, how many more years are we gonna wait, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I would bring this up all the time. Patrick Ewing, he was in the playoffs for 13 years with the Knicks. That started off when I was 9. At 9 to 13, at 9 to 13, you're talking about 22 years old. You're talking about somebody that was peeing in the bed at 9 years old to somebody that had his own child on the way at 22 years old. So it's like, like what are we talking here? How much time do we have to talk about this shit? So that's just those two players. I'm quite sure there's somebody else that I'm missing here. But let's get into more of what Scott Perry was saying. Scott Perry was talking about the one player weight thing having to do with the Detroit Pistons teams that he was involved with. They made the trade for Rasheed Wallace. So I mean, they were already a decent team. They were kind of treading water, not going to really do much. Maybe first round, second round knockout. So they decided to put some chips together and they went and traded for Rasheed Wallace. I think the NBA helped them because Rasheed Wallace was already traded to Atlanta, and then somehow they traded him from Atlanta to Detroit in the same offseason. So I didn't think that was possible, but they can do anything they want, logistically, to make the paperwork work. You know what I'm saying? But this is the team that he put together to make a championship. Now people keep saying there's no superstars here, but if you're not gonna have superstars, this is what I believe in. If you're not gonna have superstars, which is something that the Knicks are just not gonna get, there's no superstar available. Giannis and Embiid is just such a pipe dream. So my thing is, you look to get better players at each position. That's what you try to do. So Tayshaun Prince was drafted there, but extremely good defender, adequate 3-point shooter, good ball handler, good height and length and stuff like that. So I mean, Tayshaun Prince could have probably been a more of a scorer in his career, but he fit his role perfectly for this team. Shout out to Rasheed Wallace, who's definitely in his prime there, one of the best big men at the time. And then he was right next to Ben Wallace, who's like probably like the one of the most dominant defensive players, even at his height, 6'9" or maybe even shorter. With the wingspan of like God knows what how long his wingspan was. Extremely a rugged defensive player there. Those two guys were perfect together. Add that to Chase Prince. Very good front court there. Very mobile. Guys can finish. Guys, very all the guys are leaders. Shout out to Chauncey Billups. They say Chauncey Billups wasn't a star. It kind of reminds Chauncey Billups kind of reminds me of Brunson. The way that Chauncey Billups is a leader, Mr. Big Shot. I think Brunson is that. That is Brunson all the way. If you want to see who's he's running with, it was Rip Hamilton. Rip Hamilton was just coming off of playing with Washington Wizards with the old Michael Jordan. The old Michael Jordan gave him some gems and stuff like that, brought him up. So he brought that mentality here to Detroit with the running around, him learning from Reggie Miller, running around screens and stuff like that, tirelessly running. Between Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton, that was a great duo on the backcourt. So that's why we're getting so much attention for Brunson to get some help because Brunson can't be back there dribbling by himself. He needs somebody else to help him out, man. So I think that's what the Knicks need to find out. We need to find another player that can be back there that can do some ball handling, do some passing, and do some scoring to take some of that weight off of him in the backcourt. So I mean, Rip Hamilton did his thing. Chauncey did his thing. Neither one of those guys stepping on each other's toes. Shout out to Mike James. Mike James, as soon as he left Detroit, he went to Toronto and averaged 20 points a game one year. Shout out to Mehmet Okur, which is right here behind Chauncey. Mehmet Okur became a really good center in the NBA. Good rebounder, good floor. He could run the floor, block shots, pass the ball, score a little bit. So Mehmet Okur wasn't just a bum. He could have started for Detroit. For the Detroit team. Lindsey Hunter, also the old veteran there. Shout out to Eldon Campbell in the background that started a lot for the Lakers. 7, 8 rebounds per game, 2 something blocks per game, 15 points per game. So I mean, he was a good player at one point in his career. So this is not just a team full of bums. Even shout out to Corliss Williamson in the back. Corliss Williamson, I believe he averaged like, did he get up to 19? He might have got up to like 17 or 19 points per game with Sacramento. But he's a guy that won championships in college and that type of thing. So these guys all are skilled players. Even some of these other guys in the background that are even not in this picture that I can mention that all have a resume if given the opportunity, if any of these guys went down, these some of these other guys can fill in the spot and actually produce. Like I said, Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, and these guys, and even Grimes, these guys are not good enough to take over for RJ if RJ is hurt or if Brunson is hurt. God forbid. Oh my God, knock on wood. Julius Randle. We don't have a power forward right now. So if we lose Julius Randle, who the hell's back? Who the hell's gonna fill that spot? We already got RJ out. What if Julius gets out? Then we're gonna be in fucking trouble. So I mean, but this team here, like I said, if they lost Ben Wallace for a little while, they could have stuck Mehmet Core up in there. If Rasheed Wallace was hurt, they could have just put Eldon Campbell in there for a little while, and they would have been fine. You feel me? So I mean, this is the blueprint. Like I said, Malika Andrews kind of smirked and laughed at Scott Perry when he made those comments. And then I see people on Twitter talking about, oh man, that was 20 years ago. You can't win that way in today's modern NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like it's ridiculous. But there's more than one way to win it in sports, more than one way to play the game of basketball. You know what I'm saying? So I think that this is going to be the Knicks blueprint. Nobody wants to come to the Knicks. That's already proven. Nobody wants to come here. So the thing is, like, waiting for that superstar to sign with us is not going to happen. We already got our superstar in Brunson. We have to look at it like that. Brunson is Chauncey Billups. We just have to look at it like that. How do we get that next player to come in here to help out the situation? Because I think, like with our quote unquote big three that we have, RJ, Julius, and Brunson, we need to add more talent to that group. Not trade any of those guys away for some other bastard, some other bum. You know what I'm saying? So here's the issue with trading all of your players to get these stars. Look at the Clippers. So without even dissing the Clippers, let's talk about Brooklyn. How many groups of stars has Brooklyn had, and how many championships do they have to speak of it? But people keep saying that you need to get a superstar. You need to get superstars. These guys went and got multiple superstars, and they have no championships to speak of. James Harden goes to the Clippers, and immediately everybody's talking about that it's not working, it's imploding. I mean, they didn't even play 5, 10 games yet with Harden, and they're already saying, "Oh, it doesn't work." But right off the bat, why would you bring Harden into a situation like this? Because like Harden already said it himself, he is the system, which is true. You get Harden and you build around Harden. You know what I'm saying? You don't have already guys that are superstars and are basically on the twilight, the top, top looking down at their primes. You know what I'm saying? You don't add Harden to that group. It's just not a good idea. Shout out to Clips and Drew. They do a podcast, on the West Coast. They definitely cover the Clippers, they cover the Lakers, cover all the NBA. I mean, Clips, that's his name. He's a big fan of the Clippers, man. He is completely pissed off about this situation because, like, anybody with two eyes can see they're adding this much talent to the roster without any role players, because even the bench has starters. So they have a bunch of players on this team, on this Clippers team, that could start for many teams in the NBA. Like Norman Powell could start for the Knicks right now. It's at shooting guard. You know what I'm saying? So it's even Terrence Mann could start on the Knicks at shooting guard right now. So the Clippers really just stuck both feet up their asses. It's coming out their mouths. That's for the mistake that they made here. The good thing about it is that Harden is a free agent. Brody, my man, Westbrook is on a modest contract. They went and gave Paul George an extension, and then you got Kawhi. Kawhi could be available, but Kawhi, like, he wasted major parts of his prime because he was hurt. I'm not sure if he really was hurt. So this is the issue with superstars. If superstars get pissed off, they can force their way off the team, and then now you're stuck as a fan of the team, as an owner of the team, coaching the team, the other teammates. You're just stuck because now you have to just deal with this bullshit all the time. So are you really prepared to trade half your roster to get one of these kind of guys? You know what I'm saying? Just to piss away years off your life and just like joy, piss away joy out of your fandom, man. So this is something to think about. Is this what we want? Do we want to keep continuously star hunting and keep trying to get these stars that are never going to come? Because the Knicks have yet to get one. Knicks have yet to get one. It's not because the Knicks aren't trying, because nobody wants to make a deal with the Knicks, man. It's proven. Left and right is proven. The right situation hasn't come yet. You know, one thing about getting good players here. This was very important for me. I saw this today. Shout out to Tony Banks for Twitter. I believe he has his own podcast too. I'm looking here. I don't see any links for it, but I believe he has his own podcast, or he does something on the internet too. But anyway, he posts a quote from Red Holtzman. Red Holtzman is the greatest coach to ever coach the Knicks. Coached us to two championships, multiple finals appearances, coached for decades for the Knicks, not just during the championship time. The Knicks held on to him all the way into the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So he's seen quite a few Knicks teams, successful Knicks teams. He says on a good team, there is no superstars. I totally agree with that, man. If you're going to win, there is no superstars. Everybody must play whatever. Let's get into the quote. He said, on a good team, there are no superstars. There are great players who show they are great players by being able to play with others as a team. They have, he all goes on to say, they have the ability to be superstars, but if they fit into a good team, they make sacrifices. They bring necessary things to help the team win. What the numbers are in salary or statistics don't matter. How they play together does. So this is a blueprint here. This is our number one guy here, Red Holzman. His number for the number of wins is in the rafters. So this right here should be, just as it is. It should be a plaque put out right in front of the garden. It should be a plaque on the garden floor. It should be a plaque in the locker room. This is something that should not be held, taken for granted. This should be the blueprint of what it is to be a New York Knick. Chasing for stars is nice, but when it comes down to it, these superstars need to be able to dumb it down and become a team. You know what I'm saying? How do we get the right players here to become a team? Let's talk about that. Knicks championship teams. I'll do that. Let's see if this works, Mr. Google. Knicks championship roster. So I'll just bring some images here. Hopefully I get something that I'm looking for. Uh, let's check out this here. You got Bill Bradley here. Just you guys are googling with me. You got Bill Bradley, the Rhodes Scholar. Not really so athletic and stuff like that, but he could have probably been a 20 point a game scorer if he was selfish and on his own team. Shout out to Clyde Frazier. He did score 20 something with it, but he could have probably scored more. Shout out to Dick Barnett. Dick Barnett averaged 24 points per game, I believe, at one season. But the championship years, he got it down into the teens. He sacrificed himself. Somebody that probably could have went on to score 25 more points every single year, but he decided to dumb it down so he can win the championship. Shout out to Dave DeBuscher. Dave DeBuscher was a double-double machine in Detroit. Average, like I'm not sure if he averaged 20, but I'm quite sure he averaged high 18s, 19s, like that. Dave DeBuscher, he could have easily averaged 20 with the Knicks, but he chose to pass the ball, and whatever. Let it be a team game. Shout out to the captain, Willis Reed. Willis Reed only averaged like around 20. Willis Reed, if he really wanted to, if he was selfish and just cared about his numbers, Willis Reed could have averaged 30 points per game a couple years in his career. But like I said, collectively with this group in particular, they sacrifice for the team. Now, just to keep it Knicks, then all the old heads that were around for that time, it was all about finding the open man, moving the ball, finding the open man, being so unselfish, playing defense, hitting the open man. No matter how good you think you are, have confidence in your teammates. Give it to the next guy because Bill Bradley can hit that shot. So move that ball because Bradley's open and Bradley was gonna knock it down. Move the ball and let Dave the Butcher get his. Move the ball, let Dick Barnett get his. It's not like, oh, I just hit one shot. Let me see if I can hit three more in a row. No, it's about the team. So the quintessential team is always going to be in history the New York Knicks 1969, 70, and 72, 70, 71, 72, or 72, 73 championships. This is the one here. Shout out to Earl the Pearl. That's another guy that averaged like high 20s in the NBA, but he comes to the Knicks and he dumps it down, averaging all the way down to 17 points per game. So that's all sacrificing. Shout out to quite a few other guys. Yeah, like I can't get their names, but number 22, as you can see here, some of the old heads will remember who that is. He also was a double guy. He used to get 20 points and 20 rebounds sometimes. So but as a Nick in this collective, he dumbed it down and was able to sacrifice a bit, for the greater good of winning a championship. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we should be focused on, especially when we're talking about the Knicks. Stop getting so let's stop falling in love with what's happening with the media and with superstars and all this other stuff. Get it, bring it back to the essence of what it is to be a New York Knickerbocker, man. And like I said, Holtzman said it right here. So like if anybody could find this post here, if you could screenshot it, look up quotes, just look up Red Holzman quotes, man. The guy was a savant, basketball savant. And if you want to know what it is to win and to be a New York Knick, this is the kid right here. This is the guy. So let's keep it moving here with this, right? So let's do some trade stuff. So as you can see, there's all these different people that they're rumored to be traded. Fournier is right in the middle, number 8. Fournier has to get up out of here. He should have been out of here this offseason. I don't know why the Knicks didn't trade him. But anyway, let's get into the team that everyone keeps talking about, and that is the Chicago Bulls. We'll finish the podcast with this. Chicago Bulls is the first team. The next team will be the Knicks. So, okay, is there a trade here that we can make? So, one thing I want to say, let's just talk about the Celtics game. How many times did you see Julius Randle get bothered, have to keep double clutching and all these weird movements just to get a shot off because there's no movement, there's no spacing. Mitchell Robinson is standing right there all the time. So he brings the extra defender over to Julius, and like I said, the uses for Julius is overwhelming because of Tom Thibodeau. But there was one play in particular where Julius was inside, he was being surrounded, so the only pass that he had was a shovel pass inside to Mitchell Robinson. So Mitchell Robinson, all he had to do was get the ball and just lay it up, hook shot or something, and lay it up, make a move and lay it up. He waited for a second and then he gave it back to Julius. Like these guys were literally like not even a foot away from each other. They were like 1 foot from each other. and then they shovel passing it back and forth to each other. So I mean, Julius Randle's in trouble, and Mitch Robinson can't help him. If it's not a straight dunk wide open where he can just get up and dunk it quick, it's not going to work. If he gets fouled, he can't make his free throws. Right now, Mitchell Robinson is shooting 40% from the free throw line right now. So I mean, Mitchell Robinson cannot help us scoring the ball. Defensive wise, people keep saying defensive player of the year and this, that, and the other. This year I don't see it. That Celtics game, he looked atrocious. There's been a few games where Mitchell Robinson didn't even have a block in this season. So I mean, how good is Mitchell Robinson defensively? We all know the potential of him. Rebounding wise, I'm so glad that he's finally up to double digit rebounding. That's just only because he's starting to care about defensive rebounds. So I mean, he's averaging 5 offensive right now and 5 defensive. To me, that's not enough. To me, for a guy for his athletic ability, that defensive rebounding needs to be up in the eights, nines, maybe even double figures in defensive rebounds for somebody with his athleticism and beast. Oh, he's a beast. How come his numbers aren't to that degree if he's such a beast? Oh, they don't play him minutes, but this year he's getting 29 minutes per game. Shout out to Andre Drummond. When Andre Drummond was in his prime, he was getting about 29 minutes per game, and he still was giving you a double double. A double double out there. So I mean, Mitchell Robinson needs to be able to do this. Not after 6 damn seasons in the NBA. So what are we talking about? We can't give the ball to Mitchell Robinson and tell him to score. Like, or just if he gets the ball, he can't just score. He's just incapable of it. So that is a liability. I got to tell you, Quentin Grimes, the 3-point shot is great, but right now he is just a role player. He's a guy that you need surrounding superstars. So put Quentin Grimes and maybe give us Harden and put Quentin Grimes over there with the Clippers, and maybe that will work out. Brunson and Harden together, that will work a little bit better with the Knicks than it's going to be with the Clippers. But the Clippers probably could use Quentin Grimes a little bit more than they can use Harden. It's just different because they have so many superstars already on the team. So that's the situation that we're talking about here with that. So anyway, um, like I said, Quentin Grimes with our current squad, just can't function with him because Quentin Grimes is the same as Josh Hart, same as Dante DiVincenzo. They're basically all three the same player. Nobody is looking at the rim. Nobody is trying to create off the dribble. Nobody's trying to create for anybody else. Nobody's looking at the rim. They keep looking for Julius and Brunson to save them every single night. And this is something that we can't do. We cannot function like this. So this is where I'm leaning towards here. I'm not talking about Zach Lavine. I'm talking about DeRozan. DeRozan right now is only making $28 million this year, and it's a ending contract. He's a free agent next year, so we have no extra salary to deal with next year. So if we bring DeRozan here, DeRozan will basically be a rental, and that $28 million will come off the books. Uh-huh. So that's good there. Of course, on our end, we're gonna have to throw Fournier in there. Fournier has to go. So just off of GP, he has to go. General principle, 18 million, 28 million. So we got $10 million to spare. Like I said, Mitchell Robinson to me is a liability, bro. So I mean, he cannot score for all the rebounding and quote unquote defensive specialist that he can do. Is not so great that we need to hold on to him. What we need more from the position, we do need rebounding, so we need to get somebody in here that can still rebound. Blocking shots, it's a stat that could be fixed if you play good team defense. Stop the ball rather than waiting for Mitchell Robinson to finish a mistake. You know what I'm saying? So let's throw Mitchell Robinson into the mix there. I know you guys don't like that, but we're gonna do that. So anyway, to fill that spot, why not ask for Vucevic? Ask for Vucevic. Vucevic is not happy in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I think it has to do more with Zach Lavine. But I think the Bulls need to start over. So them getting Mitchell Robinson at 25 years old, I think that's a better move for them because they got a lot of bumps here. Patrick Williams is completely afraid of DeRozan and Zach Lavine. So Patrick Williams needs a break. Kobe White, he needs some time, to get some fire underneath him. Ao Dunsumu, whatever, he needs to get some time. So there's quite a few players on their roster that need to get some time here. So listen, you guys probably don't left me already here, but I mean Mitchell Robinson, Evan Fournier, Vucevic, and DeRozan I got here. So to make it even, we're talking about 34 and 7. We got to throw quickly in the mix. We're not going to pay quickly, right? So throw quickly in the mix, right? So now it's 38 and 47. What's the next player to add to the mix here? I'm looking. I'm looking. So I mean, who else can we add here? We're not going to add Julius. We're not going to add Jalen. We're not going to add Josh and Dante because they're both on their contracts. So we still owe them money. So it's got to be Grimes. Let's throw Grimes into the mix there. So we got Grimes, IQ, Mitchell Robinson, and Evan Fournier for Vucevic and DeMar DeRozan. So I mean the salary differential is 47 to 41. So to make NBA trades work, you allow a little bit of leeway. So let's see if this trade works. So let's try the trade. And the trade is a success, man. Fournier, Mitchell Robinson, Emmanuel Quickly, and Quentin Grimes for DeMar DeRozan and Vucevic. So what does that do for the Knicks? We'll have Julius Randle still. We'll have RJ still. We'll have Vucevic. We'll have Brunson, and we'll have DeRozan on the same team. Those 5 players. You want to talk about who's going to play defense? Dante DiVincenzo's coming off the bench as a glue guy. Josh Hart's coming off the bench. He's a glue guy. Hartenstein is coming off the bench. He's a glue guy. If you feel bad about it, maybe we can ask one of these guys to sacrifice to come off the bench. Could it be RJ to come off the bench? Could it be DeRozan since he's on a new team to come off the bench? It doesn't really matter to me. But what matters to me is like of these 5 minute pieces of time where we can't get a bucket. That's what's been happening since Tom Thibodeau's been here. Matter of fact, it's been happening for 20 years now. We go through like phases where we just cannot score at all. You know, Getting these guys here, Vucevic and DeRozan in the same trade, adding to Julius, adding to RJ, adding to Brunson, that assures that the Knicks will never go through a stint where we can't score. Somebody's going to be able to score. If Julius gets in foul trouble, take him out. Doesn't matter. We still got Vucevic and these other guys that they can still score. If you're worried about rebounding and defense, Josh Hart comes in there. You know what he brings. Dante DiVincenzo, he comes in there. You know what he brings. We're going to be missing two roster spots. We're definitely going to need to pick up somebody via free agency. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, once you make a trade like this, then you can easily make that trade for that tall defensive wing that everybody keeps talking about that can't identify by name. At this point, once you make this trade, now you can make a move to get that player that's a dime a dozen. To fill out the roster. So in my opinion, I don't know if you agree with it. I don't know if you like it, but to me, like I said, Julius, Brunson, RJ, along with Vucevic and DeRozan. Brunson and DeRozan could do some ball handling. They could pass the ball. DeRozan will be able to get to the basket. You know what I'm saying? Get to the basket and kick it out. Brunson could take some time off at shooting guard, maybe get some catch and shoot stuff, which he's really good at doing. Just to get the ball out of his hands for a little while to give him a break. Julius Randle get the ball out of his hands entirely. Now Julius Randle standing in the corner waiting for a shot. Now Julius Randle is getting a cut or getting a rebounding and putting it back. Now when he gets in trouble, he can make a shovel pass to Vucevic, and Vucevic could score. You know what I'm saying? To me, I think if we get these guys and they buy in to what Red Holzman was saying, no superstars on the roster. Everybody must buy in, play with each other, teammates, for the greater cause, sacrifice. If they do that, then such a trade like this, to bring in these two players like I'm talking about would be perfect for what's going on with the Knicks. Because my thing is we're not going to get a superstar. But at the same time, we make a trade like this. We get Vucevic on the roster now, and we have DeRozan, available for sign and trade. Now, if you wanted to get a superstar, now it makes more fucking sense to get a superstar now because we have Vucevic and DeRozan as chips. So now you could trade a Julius and don't feel bad about it. Now you could trade RJ and don't feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? Because you still have DeRozan and Vucevic to fool around with. You get what I'm trying to say? So anyway. This is just my opinion. In my opinion, I think this is something to think about more than constantly trade RJ. I mean, trade Julius Randle. I can't stand that motherfucker. Every single day like that on the internet. I can't stand it, man. People keep talking about, oh, that's 20 years ago, the modern NBA. Yo, it's tired, bro. is tired. We need to get another wing defender. We can't score for 5, 6 minutes at a time. Why do we need another wing defender? We need somebody tall. Like, oh my god, like it's just redundant comments over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? With somebody that's working for 12 hours, looking for an out, look at my phone and I see the bullshit, on my phone, and I can't really like let it out at the moment is very taxing, man. Very, very taxing. So anyway, this is just my opinion here. The whole situation here with Zach Levine is bullshit. I think the Knicks need to stay away from that. Like I was trying to say with the salary, I did say that like 3 straight years at $40 million it's a no way. No way for 4 years. Counting this year is 4 straight years of 40 something $million tied into Zach Levine. No. If I need to remind anybody, let's do this. Carl Anthony Towns salary before we get out of here. So Carl Anthony Towns, we'll do Sporak because it's a minimal website. Um, He's making 36. Do they show the yes, this is the extension here. So right now he's making 36 a million this year. So it's an easy trade. But once the contract kicks in, 49, 53, 57, and 61. $61 million for Carl Anthony Towns at 31 years old. What are you talking about, man? So I mean, Zach Levine and Karl Anthony Towns should be completely out of the question, regardless of talent. You know what I'm saying? Because 49, 53, 57, 61 it's gonna be chump change for Donovan Mitchell when he's a free agent. It's gonna be chump change when Brunson is a free agent and when Julius is a free agent. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be careful of who we put this money into. Right now, we have a little small pocket of time where we could snatch two players, former All Stars, on this roster to make the team better, and see what we can do. Because I think if we get those two players, it makes us favorites to win the championship. You know what I'm saying? I really do believe that. So it is what it is. Force though these quote unquote superstars, Giannis and these guys. Now you got to guard us. Worried about dominating Julius, but look at Vucevic behind your back. You know what I'm saying? Brook Lopez is not going to be able to sneak that 2010 on you, because Vucevic is there, and he's going to have to guard Vucevic. You got DeRozan there helping out Brunson, so you can't double down on Brunson. You got DeRozan there, and then you can't forget about RJ. So listen, I haven't really paid attention to the chat. At least I got at least I got at least I got one supporter here of the trade. Shout out to Lavine Carson. I'm quite sure a lot of you guys are like, man, E's crazy. But I might be crazy, but at least I'm not saying the same dumb shit everybody else is saying. Just so they could feel a part of the group. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, shout out to Almighty Finesse. Almighty Finesse was saying something earlier about I sound like I was losing my breath. What did he say? I don't know. But regardless of what he said, shout out to the New York City Marathon. Let me get rid of this. Like I said, I hope I inspired you. For guys that follow me on this channel, I ran the New York City Marathon. I ran 17 miles, walked 17 miles. That was my method to try to get through the 26. My feet exploded at 17, and I basically walked the rest of the way. You know what I'm saying? But I still walked and I still made it. Still crossed that finish. I did not give up, and it was not easy. You know what I'm saying? 26.2 miles. I got my medal. Get out there and challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to do something that people think that you can't do. Challenge yourself, just to prove that you could do something. It doesn't have to be a marathon. It could be anything that you think you need to do. Somebody think that you can't get that job. People could think that you can't get that girl. People think that you can't do whatever stupid superficial thing you think, or getting back into shape. Some people think you can't do anything. But what do you think? What do you think? What can you do for yourself? Before you start saying, "Oh, Julius needs to get back on defense. He's so lazy. He needs to go back harder. He didn't run back fast enough." But meanwhile, you can't even like run up your credit card because you ain't got no money on it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no credit. You can't buy nothing. You know what I'm saying? So what can you do to better yourself and push yourself? Are you pushing yourself? The way that you want Julius Randle to push himself? Like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. So Mighty Finesse, get the fuck out of here. So anyway, Good to see you guys, man. This is your boy Eru. Just a pocket podcast. I put it together really quick. As you guys saw, it went on at maybe like 10 minutes to 9. I set it up, 5 minutes to 9, and I went on and I just put this up here. So anyway, I appreciate you guys for supporting. If you like the hat, it's available online. See if you can find it with the new. This is like an old logo, but they put like a new spin on it. So just look for that. It's black, really nice, really comfortable. For they did something with the brim. That it sits better than my other hats. This is actually my everyday hat. I actually want to buy another one. So this is dope, man. So we'll see what happens, man. Nick So Nice says Spider in February, but like I'm saying, who are we trading for Spider? It's not going to be just Fournier and picks, Fournier, IQ and picks. It's possible, but is the Cavaliers going to do that? Is the Cavaliers going to take Fournier, IQ and picks, for Donovan Mitchell? Is it going to happen? It could happen. Stranger things has happened, but that's like the like like my wet dream, because if we get Donovan Mitchell with Brunson, that's exactly what everybody wants. You still keep RJ, you still keep Julius, and then you don't have to trade have to trade Mitchell Robinson in that situation. So you still get four good players, and we got plenty of glue guys with that. So I'll be down with that too. So anyway, this is just everything I talked about here is just an opinion, a pocket opinion that we should be looking at, and that's all I have to say about that. As far as the Knicks are they're gonna save their chips for a superstar trade in the offseason. Who is that player? You know what I'm saying? Stop saying that superstar play like as if they just like running around butt naked in off season. You know what I'm saying? Name the player. Name the player. I challenge the talking heads on TV and all the podcasts. If you're gonna keep saying that all the damn time, put a name to it. Oh, a tall wing defender, with size, wing defender with size. Give me a name. Give me a list. Give me 5 players that you think the Knicks could try to get. Okay, don't say, oh, we need to get it, but that's not my job. It's not one of my job to do it. It's a front office to figure out. Then stop talking. Stop talking. Anyway, and if you're gonna be doing that, and then got the nerve to bash somebody else's thorough opinion, then you see who you are. Then you show everybody who you are. So anyway, I know you can't help yourself. But anyway, it's your boy Eru. 4 fingers to the forehead, tucking the thumb salute. I appreciate you guys for taking a look. There probably will be quite a few replay people, hopefully on this thing. So if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up for everybody that's constantly hanging out with me here. I appreciate that you do that. And I'll catch you guys next time, man. When do the Knicks play? Before we get up out of here. Knicks schedule. So Knicks schedule, we play tomorrow. We play Atlanta tomorrow. I mean, barbecue chicken. I don't ever want to lose to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So let me put this on the screen here. I don't ever want to lose to Atlanta. So, I mean, if we play in Atlanta at Atlanta, we should be able to beat them. I'm hoping that we beat them. RJ has a migraine. But even without RJ, we should be able to beat that Atlanta team, man. So we should never lose to Atlanta, just from a skill standpoint, and just for a pride standpoint, man. Sheesh. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, it's your boy Eru. I'm up out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time. Please enjoy the outro, and I'll see you tomorrow for the full game watch along at 7:30. Peace.
Eru, I see you. Die hard. Trap. We gonna do this one the right way. We in here forever. Yeah. Die hard. Homie, die hard. You can check the swag, he the realest by far. Swimming in that blue and orange, he the lifeguard. Yeah, he been through pain, at least he got some nice scars. He can smell a trophy, yeah, you need it back to back. Represent himself, his own name is on his back. 10 toes down, try to stop him, he come back. Bandwagon hoppers, he will knock you off your tracks. You ain't saying nothing, Nero been here from the start. He been working in the lab to take his team and make it art. See him going over film to help him build and make him smart. He will tell you how he feels because he's real and he got heart. He will never fade away, he will never change his face. Everybody picking faves, and he's feeling was die hard. City on my back. They ask me what's my name and it's on my back. I'm just speaking facts. We got big dreams, we ain't looking back. We be really die hard, yeah, that's a fact. We be really die hard, ain't no going back. Make the whole crowd rise like a thermostat. Fourth quarter, I'm the killer that's gon' murder that.